Hello, I'm Susan Woods, your Black Lives Matter investigator. Thank you so much for your time. The purpose of this video message is to introduce you to the two new interim leaders of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Again, I'm introducing you to the two new interim leaders of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. As you may recall, Patrice Coolers, one of the founders and the former executive director of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, resigned in May 2021 of this year. The other two founding members, Alicia Garza and Opal Tamate, had already resigned from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So in May 27th specifically, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation announced these two women as the new interim leaders. At the top, you have Monifa Bandele, and at the bottom, you have Makani Themba. That's Monifa Bandele at the top, picture in the top, and on the bottom, you have Makani Themba. So I'm going to share a little more information about the announcement and then about these two ladies. Just one moment, please. Thank you for your patience, because if you follow me on YouTube, you know that I believe in showing what I share. I don't just share information. I like to show you what I'm talking about. So thank you for your patience as I transition from screen to screen. But here is the announcement, the May 27th, 2021 announcement. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation announces leadership transition, names two interim senior executives to support organization. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation today announced that BLM co-founder and current executive director, Patrice Coolers, will be transitioning from her role and named two senior executives to support the organization. The senior executives are Makani Themba, Chief Strategist at Higher Ground Change Strategies and former Executive Director of the Praxis Project, and Monifa Bandele, Chief Operating Officer at Time's Up Foundation. Both women have been supporters and advisors of Black Lives Matter since its inception. Now, I'm not going to read the full announcement. I will place the link in the description of this video. But I just wanted to start with the announcement of the two interim senior executives. And the reason why I wanted to share this is because I'm wondering how these two ladies are going to make significant changes and keep things operating at the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation when they are full-time employees of other organizations. Let me show you. Just one moment. I'm going to pause my screen to go to another example of what I'm talking about. Because running the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, especially after the three founders resigned and the organization is in chaos right now, lack of financial transparency being the main concern that I have about it, how can these ladies actually be effective when they have full-time positions? So this is the Higher Ground Change Strategies website. And again, here's Makani Themba once again. And she's the chief strategist at Higher Ground Change Strategies based in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm not going to read all of the information about her here, but my question again is, how can she do both? Well, I know people work two jobs. I've done that many years in my life. But when you're talking about an organization like the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation that's in complete chaos right now due to ineffective leadership from the inception, and now we have the lingering question of what happened to the $90 million that it generated last year. How can you work in Jackson, Mississippi full-time for higher ground change strategies, and serve as an interim senior executive at the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation? That's my question for Makani Themba. And then I'm going to go over to Monifa Bandele. Monifa Bandele. Now, this is even more of a concern because Monifa Bandele has just taken over as the president and chief executive officer of Time's Up Foundation and Time's Up Now. Now, in May, when she accepted the senior interim position at the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, she was the chief operating officer. But effective September the 1st, 2021, she was named as the interim president and CEO of the Time's Up Foundation. Now, if you're not familiar with the Time's Up Foundation, that is an organization that was very, very popular in 2018, and it coincided with the Me Too movement. As a matter of fact, the Time's Up Foundation still holds the record on the GoFundMe platform for raising the most money for an organization ever. It raised $22,067,100 in a short time span on the GoFundMe platform, which again is the most ever generated in revenues on the GoFundMe platform. They hold the record. So now she is taking over the Time's Up Foundation and Time's Up Now in a very terrible time, because in September of this year, the entire board of directors resigned. The CEO resigned amid allegations of an affair with Andrew Cuomo. So you have so much going on in this organization. It's in total chaos as well. So how in the world would she have time to try to fix the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation? So you have two interim senior executives at the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation who are not dedicating their time to fixing the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So what is really going on? What is going on? That's a good question. Who knows? When you look at the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, you don't see any announcement from these two senior leaders about their strategies, about their plans for the future, about anything. And when you look at their individual organizations' websites, they don't even mention being a part of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So what is going on? And that's what's so frustrating to me personally about the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, because there is absolutely no accountability. And because it's fading out of the headlines, you don't see these protests, you don't see these marches, you don't have this in the news all the time. People are just slowly going away from it. They're not even concerned about the $90 million that's missing. Nobody's questioning it. It's just fading away because it's not in the headlines anymore. And people have just moved on. I'm concerned about it because I'm still upset that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation raised $90 million last year. Nobody knows where it is. And you have all of these Black-led nonprofit organizations that's scraping for money, begging for money to do good things in the community, grassroots organizations doing great work, and they're begging for money. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And that's why I'm still in the game, if you will. I'm still on the battlefield trying to get some answers. I'm going to ask you, would you please sign the change.org petition that I have to demand financial transparency from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation? I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. But once again, I just wanted to share. I'm still working. I'm not doing as much research as I have done in the past, just due to time constraints. And also, to be quite honest with you, it's really, really, really stressful to me personally when I just look and study and research and to see how corrupt the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation really is, and how it betrayed every person that gave it a penny toward what they thought was the betterment of the Black community. This is the worst example of the Black community being bamboozled by Black people that I've ever seen in my whole life, and I'm 55 years old. I've never seen Black people betray Black people at this extent ever in my life. And that really bothers me. So again, I wanted to introduce you to the two interim leaders, so-called leaders of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. These ladies seem to be doing absolutely nothing for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. I don't see how they could. They have full-time jobs that are taking up their time. They're not allocating time. They can't allocate time to solve any problems with the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Thank you so much for your time and for your support, and have a great day.